Hey everybody, this is Garrett from Thundercloud Whips. Today I want to show you guys the setup that I use for taking pictures of whips. Taking pictures of whips has been something that's been really important to me from the beginning of when I started whip making. Always trying to take pictures of my whips has helped me in two big ways. First, it's been really nice to be able to have a record of all the whips that I've made and to be able to see the progress that I've made throughout time. Second, I found that it really helps to have a catalog of all the whips that I've made so that when I have a customer who's trying to figure out what they want for their custom whip, they can look at my past work and use that as inspiration for what they want to order. Honestly, I don't know very much about photography. The setup that I'm using right now is what I figured out through a little bit of internet research and a lot of trial and error. So I'm sure there's a lot more professional ways, a lot better ways to take pictures of whips, but this is what I found works for me.
As I started taking pictures of whips, a big challenge that I've struggled with was finding a background that would accentuate but not distract from the whip. I tried things from poster board to my kitchen table to natural backgrounds outside. I always felt like my background was detracting from, not adding to my photos. As I researched what other whip makers were doing, I found a whip company called Washburn Whips. He was selling whips on eBay at the time, and I was always really impressed with his beautiful whip photos. His whip photos always had what seemed to be an old wood fence or barn wall as his background. I later saw other whip makers such as Nick Schrader and Adam Winrich use similar weathered wood backgrounds. I decided that I needed to figure out a way to do something similar. I love how the weathered grain of the wood gives more texture to the picture, while accenting the colors and shape of the whip. I began looking around for a way to use a weathered wood background, and found that old wood pallets were a great source. In my previous video, I showed you guys how I tore apart an old pallet and re-put it together to make the wood background I'm using here. If you haven't seen that, go ahead and check it out. Another struggle that I faced in my quest for good whip photos was the constant struggle for good light. I would try different places in my house trying to find a place that wouldn't cast a big shadow across the whip, but would light everything evenly. I found that cloudy days were a great time to take pictures outside, because the clouds would diffuse the light very nicely, but it was not always cloudy, so I couldn't take advantage of that consistently. After a bit of research, I found these soft boxes that I'm using here. Basically, they are big fluorescent lights that go through a translucent sheet that diffuses the light. I found this set on Amazon for about $50, and they have served me very well. I like to take pictures at night so that I have complete control of the light. I can set the soft boxes around the whip to light the whip evenly without any sharp shadow lines. I'm really happy with the setup that I'm using right now. I feel like it helps me to take nice pictures of my whips, despite me not knowing very much about photography. If you guys have any ideas or suggestions about how you photograph whips, or ways that you think I could improve, I would love to hear from you in the